Governor, thank you very much. It's nice to see all of you here today. And I was just thinking, it's really not so much about the name here of the company, it's about the power of an idea. If the name were different, I'd still be here, because this is a very powerful idea. And you know the old saying, where there's smoke, there's fire? That's generally true in the world, except here in Washington, D.C. Often it's not. And that's the case with respect to this dispute. This is the creation of false choices these days. The question is often, who are you with? Are you on the side of accurate GPS? Or are you on the side of those that want to build this new satellite terrestrial robust broadband all across America? Who are you with? Well, the fact is, I'm with both. I'm for accurate GPS. I'm for building this powerful new system. And the truth is, you don't have to lose one to get the other. That's the fact. And yet we have people every day presenting us with these false choices. So let me make 3 points, and I promise to remember the third. First point, the false choice. We will have and can have and must have accurate GPS in the future. There's no question about that. I strongly believe that, support it, and insist on it, number one. Number two, this country desperately needs another opportunity that is different than any other that will reach the most rural areas of our country. I grew up in those areas, a town of 300 people. And I know that rural areas have always been left behind and will be again and are being left behind now. This powerful idea will change all of that and change it in a hurry. Second point, this is not very complicated, despite the fact some want to make it so. They have hearings and twist themselves into pretzels about how unbelievably complicated this is. There are many GPS receivers that receive signals in spectrum that someone else owns. They've known for some years that that spectrum was going to be used for a different, new, broad promise here of broadband capability, and yet they ignored it. So in spectrum use, it is not controversial to suggest that if you own spectrum, someone else can't be using it, and yet we have people arguing that should still be the case. It is not complicated to fix. They're saying it's impossible to fix because they want to kill this idea. It's not impossible. It's not even very complicated. Companies that are not connected with this idea or with this company have in a matter of days found a way to create low-cost filters that would solve the interference issue. The third point, in 1995 and 96, I helped write the first rewrite of the Telecommunications Act since 1933. I knew then that we were very worried again about what would happen to rural America. We included the words advanced services. Advanced services. We didn't have the foggiest idea what those advanced services would be. But I'll tell you what, they have exploded. And we now have opportunities across this country to hold in your hand or get on the line and reach the world in so many different ways. But that's not true for everybody. There are almost 30 million people that don't have that service, and there are many tens of millions of additional people that have slow service and inadequate service. And that's why I think this is such a powerful idea, this new plan. Better signals, robust broadband all across the country will create thousands of new jobs and explode opportunity for all Americans and decide once and for all, we don't have to leave people behind to move this country ahead. Let me finally say this. Mark Twain was once asked to debate, and he said, of course I will, as long as I can take the negative side. Well, they said, Mr. Twain, we haven't even told you the subject. Oh, he said, doesn't matter, the negative side won't take any preparation. It is very hard to build things. Very hard to build things. Very easy to oppose. This idea is worth building. The quicker we get onto it, the better for this country. Let me, I said I wouldn't forget 3 points. I made all three, but I forgot to introduce my former colleague, Senator Tim Hutchison. Tim.